Capitol siege. First, joining me is going to be California Congressman Ted Lieu, a Democratic member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, welcome, sir. It's always good to have you. Two, and yourself, colleagues, have drafted an article of impeachment, and you tweeted that it will be introduced tomorrow. Sir, what specifically are you charging the president with?
Thank you, Alex, for your question. We are charging the president with incitement to insurrection. The article of impeachment drafted by Congress members Jamie Raskin, David Cicilline, me, and House Judiciary staff now has 195 co-sponsors, and we will introduce this tomorrow. Let me make clear what happened on January 6th. Donald Trump incited a violent insurrection. The mob invaded the Capitol, and they were hunting members of Congress. They were trying to lynch Vice President Pence. We can't just pretend this didn't happen. Impeachment is the minimum we should do. Donald Trump should also be prosecuted for incitement to insurrection and felony murder.
Congressman Lieu, of those 195 co-sponsors you say you have, are any of them Republicans?
Not yet. We did draft the article narrowly with the goal of trying to gain Republican support. I am, however, pleased for a number of Republicans to publicly come out and say they either think Donald Trump should resign or they support him being removed from office through the 25th Amendment. It's not a very big leap to go from that statement to impeachment.
Yeah, just notably, we heard from Senator Pat Toomey, Republican of Pennsylvania, on that front. Sir, what happens next after you introduce the article of impeachment tomorrow? Give me the process, the procedure.
Sure. So we're introducing this article of impeachment on Monday in the House's pro forma session. Speaker Pelosi recently sent a Dear Colleague letter to all the members telling us to prepare to come back to Washington, D.C. this week. It'll be up to her as to when she would like to call a floor vote, and then a vote will be taken on the articles of impeachment, and we'll see what happens from there.
Okay. Let's get to the president's permanent suspension on Twitter. Of course, his preferred bully pulpit having been taken away. Will more Republican lawmakers, do you think, find the courage now to speak out against Trump now that he can't put their name in front of millions of people and ridicule them for what they've said?
I sure hope so. And it wasn't just Twitter. He was also banned from pretty much every single social media platform. I hope Republicans now realize that this man is the danger we've been saying he has been for the last 4 years. It shouldn't have taken multiple people dying in an attempted coup for Republicans to now realize this, but they are realizing it. And so a number of Republicans have called for him to resign from office. And then you had Senator Ben Sasse, who recently said he was open to articles of impeachment.
However, as you well know, there are some Republicans arguing against impeachment. They say it would do more harm than good at this point. Is there legitimate concern that removing President Trump would further incite violence?
We absolutely have to heal and unify as a nation. We cannot do that without first having justice. And that's why we need to remove Donald Trump. We also need to make sure he doesn't have his hand on a nuclear trigger, which is why Congress members Salud Carvajal, Jimmy Panetta, and I sent a letter last Thursday to the acting Secretary of Defense telling him to put additional constraints on the Nuclear Launch Authority, the same way that Secretary of Defense James Schlesinger did during Nixon's final days. We need to do everything we can to remove or at least try to constrain this president.
Having mentioned Senator Pat Toomey and his support of removal of the president from office, when he speaks about impeachment at this point right now, looking at this calendar, he suggests it's not practical. Let's take a listen to what he said.
It's likely that if the House does pass articles of impeachment, we wouldn't get them till, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday. We're literally less than 1 week to go at that point. I'm also not at all clear that it's constitutionally permissible to impeach someone after they have left office. So there may not be a viable impeachment route at this point.
Look, I understand that we are in somewhat uncharted waters and in terms of constitutional law. I've been going round and around with experts on that. But overall, what is your response to that?
Senator Toomey is wrong. They put in a lifetime Supreme Court justice in 8 days. The Senate certainly can act on impeachment if they wanted to, just a matter of political will. And impeachment has a number of purposes. One is to remove a dangerous and delusional president. Second, it would bar him from holding any office ever again and strip him of taxpayer-funded benefits like a pension, office staff, in office, healthcare. So there's reasons to do this, but perhaps one of the most cogent reasons is that future generations will know that Congress acted swiftly and strongly when we were attacked by a violent mob. We can't just issue press releases as our only response.
And you know, Congressman, as we're talking with you on the other side of the screen, we're looking at the video evidence of that attack by the angry mob. And you have pro-Trump extremists. They've now been rallying online. There's another proposed attack on the Capitol. That's next Sunday, 1 week from today. They're also vowing to return to Washington for the inauguration 3 days later. Are you, sir, worried about this? And do you think enough preparations are underway to deal with any possible insurrections?
So, you know, if those folks want to post on their social media platform their name and where they're going to be on D.C., I'm sure the federal authorities would be there when they come. So we're going to have a massive police presence, I am sure of it, for the inauguration. And they're going to protect the president and the vice president, and nothing is going to stop Joe Biden and Kamala Harris from being inaugurated on January 20th.
Congressman, before I let you go, sir, we have just learned that the Capitol physician is alerting House members and staff, those that sheltered together in a very large hearing room on Wednesday, saying that they may have been exposed to someone with coronavirus. Have you been contacted? Are you hearing anything on this?
I got the same memo from the House physician. It is really disgraceful that Republican legislators think they have the constitutional right to have their respiratory saliva spread everywhere. They do not. They should not be spreading the coronavirus. This is a virus that's highly contagious, and for some it is lethal, especially for people who are older or have pre-existing conditions. And there are people in that room that if they got COVID-19, they would be at risk of serious illness or possible death. These Republican members in that room who refuse to wear masks should be ashamed of themselves.
Congressman Ted Lieu, I thank you for your time and want you to stay healthy, my friend. Thank you.